What's up guys? Welcome back to Cruel Tax and Accounting Tutorial and welcome again to the Business Law Series. Nandito pa rin tayo sa Chapter 3. Pinag-usapan natin yung different kinds of obligations. For this particular session, ang pag-uusapan natin is yung Section 2, yung obligations with a period. As contrast sa pinag-usapan natin last time na conditional obligations. Okay? So, hindi mo na ako magpapakita ngayon sa inyo para ma-miss nyo naman ako. Okay? So, gaya ng nabanggit yung pag-usapan natin is yung Section 2, Obligations with a Period, particularly Articles 1193 to 1198. Okay? Ngayon, simulan natin dun sa Article 1193. Okay, so basahin natin. First paragraph, obligations whose fulfillment a day certain has been fixed shall be demandable only when that day comes. Okay, so dito madali namang intindihin, ano? Kapag may napag-usapan na isang araw kung kailan yung fulfillment of the obligation, so demandable lang siya pag dumating na yung araw na yan. So hangga't hindi pa dumadating yung araw na yon, hindi pa pwedeng mag-demand si creditor. Okay? So, yon. So, mamaya pag-uusapan pa natin itong tungkol dito sa first paragraph na to. Pero, pangungunahan na natin ng konti. This is an obligation with a period, particularly yung tinatawag nating suspensive period. Okay? So, discuss natin yan later. Okay? Second paragraph. Obligations with a resolutory period. So, ito na agad yung kaibahan nung nasa first paragraph, no? Yung obligation naman na merong resolutory period. Ang sabi, take effect at once but terminate upon the arrival of the day certain. Okay, so suspensive period na nasa unang paragraph, sa second paragraph resolutory period. Dito ang sinasabi naman dito, parang kagaya siya nung obligation with a resolutory condition. 'Di ba? Ano ba nangyayari doon? The happening of the condition terminates or extinguishes the obligation. Ito naman, pagdating ng period, terminates, or pagdating ng day certain na tinutukoy, terminate the obligation. Okay? So, hindi na siya demandable. Parang ganyan. Okay? Ngayon, pag sinabi nating day certain, kasi nabanggit sa dalawang paragraph, no? Ibig sabihin yan, ito ay it is understood to be that which must necessarily come, although it may not be known when. Isang araw or isang pagkakataon na sure tayo na mangyayari. Di lang natin alam kung kailan siya mangyayari. For example, lahat ng tao ay namamatay or mamamatay, pero hindi natin alam eksakto kung kailan tayo mamamatay. Okay, so yun. Day certain, sure. Okay? Ngayon, if the uncertainty consists in whether the day will come or not, okay, pag ang usapan is hindi natin sure kung yung day ay darating or mangyayari, ang sabi, hindi siya isang period. The obligation is conditional. Yun yung pinag-usapan natin last time. Conditional yun. Kung naalala nyo, a condition is a future and uncertain event. So, iba ang usapan dito sa period. Mamaya i-define pa natin yan. Okay? So, explore pa natin. So, obligation with a period. Ito yung one whose effects or consequences are subjected in one way or another to the expiration or arrival of the said period or term. Okay? Pwedeng pag dumating na yung time, mag-arise or maging demandable yung obligation, or kapag dumating na yung time, hindi na siya maging demandable, 'di ba? Yan. So, ano nga ba yung period? Okay, so define na natin ang period. It is a future and certain event. Uy, teka. Future and certain event. O, yun yung kaibahan niya sa condition. Yung condition, ninulit ko, future and uncertain. Pero this time, ito ay certain. Tiyak na mangyayari. Okay? Upon the arrival of which the obligation subject to it either arises or is terminated. So, ang epekto niya, kagaya nung suspensive condition tsaka sa resolutory condition. Kamukha yung epekto niya. Kaya lang dito, ang pinag-uusapan niyo kasing condition, maaaring mangyari or hindi. 'Di ba? Uncertain. Pero itong period, nangyayari talaga siya. Hindi lang alam eksakto kung kailan. Okay? Ngayon, tuloy natin. So, let's compare period versus condition. Number one, in terms of fulfillment. So, a period is future and certain event. Okay? Kanina pa natin binabanggit yan. On the other hand, a condition is an uncertain event. Future din, pero uncertain. Okay? Ngayon, in terms of time, ano naman ang pagkakaiba nitong dalawa na to? So, a period refers only to the future. But a condition may refer also to the past. O, napag-usapan na natin yan, di ba? Nag-example pa tayo dyan na unknown past event, di ba? So, pwede yon pag sa condition. Okay? Ngayon, doon naman tayo sa in terms of the influence on the obligation. So, yung period, it merely fixes the time for the performance or demandability of an obligation. Okay, demandability. Yan. Bubara ya. Okay. However, a condition causes the existence or extinguishment of an obligation. Basta nangyari yung event, maaring mag-exist or mag-arise ang isang obligation or ma-extinguish kasi nangyari yung condition. Okay? Ngayon, please take note that both the period and the condition must be legally and physically possible para siya maging valid. Okay? Legally and physically possible. Hindi pwede yung impossible period or impossible condition. Okay? Ngayon, so, doon naman tayo sa according to effect. Okay? So, we have two types no, of period. We have the suspensive period or yung XD, wherein the obligation begins only from a day certain upon the arrival of the period. Ayan. So, pag dumating na yung panahon o yung araw na yon, so the obligation begins or becomes demandable from that day. Okay? On the other hand, pag resolutory or in diem, the obligation is valid up to a day certain. Ibig sabihin, demandable at once. Diba? Kagaya ng obligation with a resolutory condition, it is demandable at once. Okay? But terminates upon the arrival of the period. Okay? So, sana maliwanag sa atin. Kamukha lang, no? So, hindi tayo masyadong mahihirapan. Okay? Ngayon, sample na natin. So, suspensive period tayo. For example, Sakuragi promised to pay Rukawa 50,000. Kailan? At the end of the month. Ibig sabihin, pagdating ng end of the month, pwede nang mag-demand itong si Sakuragi, si Rukawa kay Sakuragi na ibigay na sa kanya yung 50,000. Diba? Kasi dumating na yung period, which is the end of the month. Ganun kasimple. Number 2, Miyagi obliged himself to support Mitsui. Kailan? From the time Mitsui's father dies. So, yung pagkamatay, gaya ng nabanggit ko kanina, is a certain event. Di lang natin alam eksakto kung kailan mangyayari. So, dito, pag namatay yung tatay ni Mitsui, so, pwede niya nang i-demand from Miyagi na suportahan siya. Diba? So, yun. So, hanggat buhay pa, wala pa siyang karapatang mag-demand. Okay? Number 3, Akagi promised to pay Kogure when his means permit him to do so. Nandun to sa nakaraang section, diba? Okay? Babayaran kita kapag kaya ka na, pag meron na kang pambayad. Yun daw, hindi siya obligation with a condition. It is an obligation with a period. So, ayan, in-example na natin. Okay? Tiyak namang magbabayad. Kailan? Pag kaya niya na. Pag nagkapera na siya, ganun. Okay? Next, example naman tayo ng resolutory period. Halimbawa, Ansai promised to provide Fujima 5,000 monthly allowance until the end of 2025. Ibig sabihin, simula ngayong buwan or next month, pwede nang i-demand ni Fujima yung 5,000 monthly allowance niya hanggang sa 2025. Actually, hanggang sa dulo ng 2025. Pagdating ng December 2025, yun na yung huli. After nun, wala na obligation si Ansai. Ay resolutory period. Or another one, Sendo will support Fukuda until Fukuda dies. So, hanggat buhay si Fukuda, supportahan siya ni Sendo. Okay? Pero pag namatay na, tapos na kanyang obligation. Okay? So, mataterminate na. Diba? Madali pang intindihan, ano? Okay? So, tuloy natin. According to source naman tayo. So, we have legal period, those provided by law, or we have conventional or voluntary period, yung napag-usapan ng parties to the agreement. O ano yung napag-usapan nila, we call that conventional or voluntary period. Meron tayong judicial period. Ito naman yung fixed by the court. Okay, legal period, sample yung mga schedule ng payment of taxes, schedule ng contributions, yan yung mga mandatory contributions. So, legal period. Ibig sabihin, specified na sa law and its implementing rules and regulations kung kailan dapat bayaran. Okay? Yung time mismo kung kailan dapat nating bayaran. Okay? Okay. So, tuloy natin. According to definiteness, dalawa lang naman yan eh. Isang definite at indefinite. Pag sinabi natin definite, it is fixed. The period is fixed or its exact date or time is known. Alam natin kung kailan. Okay? Pag sinabing indefinite, hindi fixed. Or, and its exact date or time is unknown. Madaling intindihin yan, ha? Okay, so tuloy natin. Let's proceed to Article 1194. So, dito ang pag-uusapan natin, what if in case of loss, deterioration, or improvement of the thing before the arrival of the day certain. Sabi, halimbawa, obligation is an obligation to give a thing. Tapos ito ay nawala, nasira, or nag-improve habang hinihintay natin yung day certain. Ang sabi, the rules in Article 1189 shall be observed. So, napag-usapan natin yan nung mga nakaraan, di ba, yung rules. So, isang example ng rule doon is halimbawa, si debtor, nawala yung thing or property, siya ang may fault. So, sagot niya yung damages doon. Diba? Parang ganon. Pag hindi naman, na-extinguish yung kanyang obligation. So, balikan nyo yung Article 1189. Okay? Same rule will apply. Let's proceed to Article 1195. So, ito naman, anything paid or delivered before the arrival of the period, the obligor, okay, or the debtor being unaware of the period or believing that the obligation has become due and demandable, yun, akala niya due date na, akala niya dumating na yung time na kailangan ibigay niya na yung isang bagay. Sabi dito, hindi niya alam, ano, unaware, liwanag yan, ha. Tapos nagbayad siya, parang gano'n, nagbigay siya, may be recovered, ayun, pwede naman bawiin with fruits and interest, kasi nagkamali lang naman tayo. Okay, so mamaya may example tayo dyan. Okay. So, ito yung nangyari na payment before arrival of the period. So, nalito. Nagkamali na akala, parang gano'n. Ang remedy ni obligor or debtor, di yun na nga, he may recover what has been paid by mistake before the arrival of the period, together with fruits and interest, diba? However, once the period has arrived, tapos hindi mo naman binabawi, inabutan na ng time, nakapag-advance ka ng payment, hindi mo na rin binawi, ang sabi, the obliger may no longer recover the thing or money. However, he may recover the fruits or interest from the date of premature performance. Ayun, yun lang pwede niyang bawiin. Yung interest na lumakad sa panahon na kung ilang panahon siya nag-advance, ilang buwan, etc. So, yung interest doon, o kaya yung fruits of the thing na pinakinabangan ni creditor or ni obligee, hindi pa naman due date, pwede kuhanin niya ni obligor. Okay? Yun lang ang mababawi niya kapag dumating na yung period. Di mo na kasi pabuhiin yung mismong bagay niya kasi talaga namang ibibigay mo siya upon the arrival of the period. Okay? Please take note that Article 1195 applies only to a real obligation. Okay? An obligation to give Okay? Ngayon, tuloy natin. Sample. Halimbawa na example pa, no? Maki owes Jean 50,000 which is due on December 30, 2020. Ayun. By mistake, Maki paid his obligation on November 30 na advance ng isang buwan. By mistake, nakalagay, by mistake, including 1,000 interest. So, ano ang remedy nitong si Maki? Assuming that today is December 1. Tapos na-realize siya, teka muna, nagbayad na ako kahapon, ang due date pa pala is sa December 31 or sa December 30. Ang sabi, Maki may recover the 50,000 cash plus the 1,000 interest. Pwede niya bawiin, hindi pa naman due date Okay, pwede niyang bawiin yan. Okay, however, kung December 30, 2020 na, hindi pa naman niya binabawi yung cash, hindi niya na pwedeng bawiin yan. Diba? O kaya naman, Maki knew that the due date is December 30, pero sadyang binayaran lang niya. So, mahalaga dito, you are unaware. Okay, kailan papatunayan natin na tayo unaware? Okay, hirap atang patunayan na. Okay, so hindi mo pwedeng ma-recover yan kahit in advance mo yan kung alam mo naman na talaga ang due date niya is on December 30. Okay. Ngayon, let's proceed to Article 1196. Okay, so whenever in an obligation a period is designated, ayan na. So may napag-usapang period. It is presumed, ano yung pinapresume natin? To have been established for the benefit of both the creditor and the debtor. So yung period, ang presumption is napag-usapan nyo yan or napag-asundan nyo for the benefit of both the debtor and creditor. Parang ganon. Hindi nang isa lang sa kanila. That's the general rule. Unless, from the tenor of the same or other circumstances, it should appear that the period has been established in favor of one or of the other. Unless, iba yung sinasabi ng agreement, na in favor pala kay debtor o kaya kay creditor. Okay, pero generally, it is for the benefit of both. Okay. Siyempre, hindi pa natin mag-gets agad yan, So, mamaya may example tayo. Okay. So, obligations with period fixed by the parties, ang sabi, yan nga, it is for the benefit of both the debtor and creditor. Ayan. Anong credit? Creditor. Okay. So, sample tayo. On April 1, halimbawa, si Fujima borrowed from Hanagata 100,000. Okay, so debtor, creditor, payable on December 31 at 12% interest. Ayun. So, tanong, ito ba ay for the benefit of the debtor ni Fujima or ni creditor Hanagata? Ang sabi, ang assumption natin is for the benefit of both. Why? Kasi nga, halimbawa, tanongin natin ito, can Fujima pay before December 31? Pwede nga ba? Pwede nga mabayaran ni Fujima yan before December 31? Sagot, no. Unless pumayag si Hanagata. Or, if Fujima will pay the interest from April 1 to December 31. Siyempre, si Hanagata, ang usapan, di ba? From April to December 31. So, ang interest na i-expect ni Hanagata is from April 1 hanggang December. So, hindi siya papayag basta-basta na magbayad siya na bayaran ko na agad. Parang hindi na tumakbo yung interest. Hindi ganon. Unless payag si Hanagata. O kaya babayaran na lahat ng interest ni Fujima in advance. Pwede yun. Okay? On the other hand, baka kasi isipin natin for the benefit of Hanagata lang yun na yung interest kasi diba maapektuhan pag nabayaran agad. On the other hand naman, ito, Hanagata cannot force Fujima to pay before December 31. Yun naman yung benefit ni debtor dyan. On December 31 ang due date, so doon siya sisingilin dapat ni Hanagata for the benefit of both of them. Okay. So, tuloy natin. Siyempre, that's the general rule. Ano exceptions? So, number 1, when the term is for the benefit of the debtor alone. Example na natin yan Ano ba yung mga pagkakataong key debtor na kapabor yung period? Okay, or yung term. Sample na natin. Ikigami borrowed from Tauka 1 million pesos. Yun. Ikigami being the debtor, Tauka creditor. Okay. To be paid after 1 year. Okay naman 1 year. Eto na, without interest. Ayun. Wala kang babayarang interest. Ibabalik mo lang yung 1 million. Tanong, may papakinabangan si tao ka? Wala. Eh, binigyan ka ng 1 year. Kaninong benefit yung kay tao ka ba? Hindi kay debtor yun. Siyempre. Tama? Diba? Binigyan ka ng palugit 1 taon. Tapos hindi ka sisingilin ng interest. That is for the benefit of the debtor. Okay? O kaya naman, Ikegami promised to pay his debt on or before December 31. Ayan. This time, si Ikegami bilang borrower, sabi niya, I can pay it on or before. Pag before, syempre, yung interest nun mas bababa. Ano? Pag before December 31 mo binayaran. Pero, wala ka naman pera, bayaran mo siya on December 31. Benefit pa rin ni debtor yan. Diba? Kasi siya yung may option to choose kung mabayaran niya na agad or sa dulo. Okay? O kaya naman, isa pa, yung exception is, the term is for the benefit of the creditor. Sample, Nobunaga borrowed from Kazuma 100,000. So, debtor, creditor, payable on December 31 with the stipulation that Nobunaga cannot make payment before the lapse of the period. O ikaw, debtor, Nobunaga, di mo ko pwedeng bayaran ng advance. Patatakbuhin natin yung interest from the date na ikaw ay nangutang hanggang sa December 31. Okay? Tuktukan natin yun para masabi natin for the benefit of the creditor talaga. But Kazuma, the creditor, may demand fulfillment even before the said date. Yun naman. O, yun nasa usapan nila. Si Kazuma pwede maningil anytime. Even before the due date. Okay? Pero si Nobunaga, bawal siya magbayad in advance. Nakadepende kanino? Kay creditor. So, for the benefit of the creditor. Okay? Let's proceed to Article 1197. Yan. What if ganito scenario? If the obligation does not fix a period, but from its nature or circumstances, it can be inferred that a period was intended. Ayun. Hindi lang na-fix. Ang sabi, the courts may fix the duration of thereof. Okay, so, we may seek the help of the courts or the court to fix the period. Diba? O kaya tayo na lang mag-usap. Kayo na lang mag-usap, debtor, creditor. Kung hindi na ayos between the two, so, yung korte na ang mag-aayos niyan. Diba? The courts shall also fix the duration of the period when it depends upon the will of the debtor. Ayan. Bayaran kita kapag ganito. Pag gusto ko na, ayan, kay-debtor lang nakadepende kung babayaran niya o hindi. Ano sabi? The creditor may also seek the help of the court to fix the duration of the period. Diba? Si korte, pwede makialam. In every case, the court shall determine such period as may under the circumstances have been probably contemplated by the party. So, si korte magdi-decide yan. Okay? Okay, taking all the circumstances. Okay, once fixed, wala nang baguhan. Hindi na pwedeng baguhin nung parties so the contract. Yun na yun. Okay? In the first place, bakit pa kayo lumapit sa korte? Dinala nyo pa sa korte yan kung pag na-fix pala ng court, eh hindi nyo naman susundin, di ba? Okay? Okay, so doon pa rin tayo, rules in case period is not fixed. So, meron tayong tinatawag na judicial period tsaka contractual period. Okay? Pag sinabi judicial period, ito yung fixed by the court. Magkita natin kanina to. Pag sinabi natin contractual period, ito yung napag-usapan ng parties. Or voluntary, di ba kanina? Yan. As a rule, the court is not authorized to fix a period. Ayan. That's a general rule. Exception yung kaninang dalawa. Kaya na pinag-usapan natin, yung nakaraan lang. Sabi nga, the court has no right to make contracts for the parties. So, kung ano na pag-usapan nila, yun ang susundin. Okay, hindi pwedeng i-fix yun basta-basta ni court. Okay. Exceptions. Ayan. Ayun na nga. No period is fixed, but a period was intended. Nabanggit natin kanina to. Or, the duration of the period depends upon the will of the debtor. Ito yung mismo nasa article natin. Okay, so ganyan mga pagkakataon, so pwedeng makialam ang korte to fix the period. Okay. Example, no period is fixed but a period was intended. Ayan. Aya ko, parang ayaw ko lang, Aya ko agreed to construct the house of Yasuda. Ayan. But failed to fix the period within which the construction is to be made. Okay. So, hindi na pag-usapan kailan nga ba? Kailan masisimulan, kailan dapat matapos. Ayan. Hindi na pag-usapan. Sa sitwasyon na to, syempre, dahil ito ay bahay, syempre gustong mayari agad to ni Aya ko as much as possible. Kung may budget naman, di ba? So, dito, pwedeng manghingi ng tulong si Aya ko sa korte para ma-fix yung period. O kaya naman kausapin niya si Yasuda. Pag di pumayag, dito pa lang syempre sa court. Ganun yun. Hindi agad korte agad, no? Usap muna, di ba? Lahat naman sabi nga nila, nadadaan sa magandang usapan. Pag hindi, ayun na, si korte na bahala dyan. Another example, Kentaro sold a parcel of land to Satoru with a right to repurchase. Ayun, nasa agreement nila na pwedeng bilhin ulit ito ni Kentaro. Kaya lang, doon sa agreement nila, hindi nasabi hanggang kailan ba pwedeng bawiin. Ayun. No term is specified in the contract for the exercise of the right. So, di ba, hindi makakatulog si Satoru ngayon. Kailan nga ba? Hanggang kailan ba yung right niya? So, Satoru may seek or may complain or mag-file ng case sa korte para ma-fix yung period. Pero, sabi ko nga, di ba, si Satoru, di ba, sabi mo na si Kentaro, di ba? Otherwise, bring that to the court. Okay? Okay, example naman, ang duration of the period depends upon the will of the debtor. Okay, so sabi ni debtor, when the debtor promises to pay when his means permit him to do so. Ayan, o kaya sinabi niya, bayaran kita unti-unti as soon as possible, etc. Kapag ganyan, pwede rin si creditor lumapit sa korte to fix the period. Okay? Ngayon, ipasok natin suspensive period and suspensive condition. Okay. Question, what is the effect if the suspensive period or yun ang una, suspensive period or suspensive condition depends upon the will of the debtor. Ayan. Kasi nga naman, di ba? Kay debtor naka-depende. Valid ba yun? Or void? Tingnan natin. Kapag ang involved ay suspensive period, ang sabi, the obligation is valid. Okay. Pwede nga ipa-fix sa court, di ba? However, pag ito ay suspensive condition, ang sabi, the obligation is void or void, di ba? Magkaiba yan. Magkaibang bagay. Okay? Kasi yung condition, isang bagay na uncertain. Pwedeng gawin ni debtor, pwedeng hindi. Pag di niya ginawa, hindi magkakaroon ng bayaran or hindi mag-a-arise ang obligation. Pwedeng ganon, di ba? Pero yung suspensive period kasi, pag gaya na nabanggit natin kanina, a period is a future and, ayun, ito yung pinangahawak, certain. Kaya valid. Di ba? Mangyayari naman siya, di lang natin alam kung kailan. Kaya, di natin alam kung kailan, pa-fix natin sa court. Di ba? Yun yung remedy. Okay, so ituloy natin. Yan, kung dami nakasulat. Murahin natin yan. Okay. So, proceed tayo sa Article 1198. Okay, ano ba yung mababasa natin dito sa Article 1198? So, this is the last article sa Section 2. So, dito ang pag-uusapan natin is ito. The debtor shall lose every right to make use of the period. Kailan? Number 1. Ibig sabihin, magiging demandable agad yung obligation. Kasi kung may period na isinet, di ba, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, so mababaliwala yun kapag nangyari itong mga bagay na to. Number 1, when after the obligation has been contracted, he becomes insolvent, si debtor. Ayan, unless he gives a guarantee or security for the debt. Okay, so madaling intindihan, pag naging insolvent siya, double shot yun, di ba? Insolvent ka na nga, tapos sisingilin ka pa ni creditor, di ba? Number 2, when he does not furnish to the creditor the guarantees or securities which he has promised. So, nagpangako ka ng certain property bilang prenda mo or collateral mo, hindi mo naman inililitaw or ibinibigay yung mga papeles, so ang sabi, magiging demandable yan at once. Number 3, when by his own acts he has impaired the said guarantees or securities, diba, nasira, pumangit, kasalanan mo, sabi, diba, sinira mo na yung nakaprenda mo, so demand ko na yung obligation, gano'n. And when through a fortuitous event they disappear, even fortuitous event, nag-disappear siya, so ganun din, demandable siya at once unless palitan mo with a new one equally satisfactory. Okay, number 4, when the debtor violates any undertaking in consideration of which the creditor agreed to the period. Kumbaga, may usapan kayo, kaya kanya pinag-utang, halimbawa, hindi mo naman sinunod yung usapan na yun. So, may right si creditor to demand the obligation. And then number 5, when the debtor attempts to abscond, tumakas, magtago. Yan. So, yan yung mga pag-uusapan natin. Bigyan lang tayo ng ilang example, pero palagi ko naiintindihan nyo na yan kahit pa paano, no? So, number 1, when the debtor becomes insolvent. Example, Mito, ng utang kay Noma, 30,000, payable on December. Tapos, nung October, naging insolvent si Mito. Si Noma daw, may demand immediate payment unless he gives sufficient guarantee or security. Okay? Number 2, ayan, ang ingay na aso. Ayan. When the debtor does not furnish the guarantees or securities promised, diba? Sample natin. Si Mito ng utang kay Noma 30,000, ang mortgage niya or ang collateral niya is yung house niya. Hindi naman niya binibigay yung susi, yung papers. Wala namang may pakitang bahay. Ang sabi, Noma may demand immediate payment. Okay, so madali rin mag-gets. Number 3, when the guarantees or securities given have been impaired or have disappeared. Okay. Sample na natin. Ano ba yung bahay pa rin, yung nakaprenda. If the house was burned through his fault, the obligation becomes demandable unless he gives a new security equally satisfactory. Saklap nyo, no? Nasunog na yung bahay mo, magiging demandable pa yung obligation. Kasi nasa batas natin diba? Number 4, kaya ka pinautang ni Noma, kaya ka pinautang ni Noma is, ang sabi mo, promise mo sa kanya that you will repair Noma's house. Ayan, hindi mo naman ginawa, na hindi ka nagpunta ron, it gives Noma the right to demand immediate payment of the loan. Okay? And then number 5, when the debtor attempts to abscond, paano yun? Ayun, nagbago ng address without informing Noma, with the intention of escaping his obligation. This likewise gives Noma the right to demand immediate payment of the loan. Okay, so sana marami kayong natutunan. Thank you for continuously supporting yung ating channel. Paki-like ang video na to. Kung di ka pa nakasubscribe, mag-subscribe ka na. So, see you on the next video.